Why do some people struggle with money while others make the right decisions and build lasting wealth? In this mini-series, Dr. Matt and I explore the psychology of money and the behaviors that quietly shape financial lives. Y'all, money's emotional. It's tied to fear, identity, habits, and even relationships. And we've learned that long-term financial success is as much about behavior as it is math. Even the best financial plan can be undone by poor behavior, while good financial behavior has the potential to compound more powerfully than investment returns. In this series, we explore why people struggle with money, how emotions drive decisions, and how habits shape your financial life. This is the stuff about money they didn't teach you in school, Psychology Edition. This is the Psychology of Money series on the Stuff About Money They Didn't Teach You in School podcast. I am your co-host, Erik Garcia, certified financial planner. And if you have been tuning in, you are no stranger to our co-host guest for today, Dr. Matt Morris, family therapist, couple counselor, longtime contributor to the show, good friend of mine. In fact, we're talking about a topic today. I don't know if you remember this, Matt. Years and years and years ago, certainly more than 10 years ago, probably almost 15 years ago, I got a phone call from you once. And you said, hey, I was counseling a couple and this was the issue came up. It was money related and it wasn't really too deep, but like this was my counsel to them. Was that a good piece of money advice? And I was like, yeah, that was actually pretty savvy. It wasn't complicated. It wasn't like you need to be a financial advisor type of person to give the advice. Yeah. That triggered and that started this relationship that you and I started collaborating together on. I have to imagine money comes up often in couples counseling.
Right, it does frequently, not all the time, but very frequently. And sometimes it's part of the major presenting problem. Like we spend differently, but more frequently it's kind of an underlying side problem.
So when you say it's a presenting problem, does that mean that it is how another problem is presenting itself through money?
No, it is the problem they're calling about couples therapy for. Like this would be the standard version of that. Hey, this probably happens once or twice a year. Hey, we need couples therapy. We've just discovered some financial infidelity.
Ooh, yeah.
Which is, a sexy, sleek, dark term for one of us was spending money the other one didn't know about. And usually a lot of money.
Yeah. It's not like, you bought a golf club.
Right? A what?
A golf club, like a new driver. It's like I racked up $30,000 of credit card debt type of thing.
Yeah, right. It's more like that.
Yeah.
Or I have a secret credit card, or I've, took out a loan in your mother's name.
Whoa. That's interesting. Yeah, I could see how that could force someone to go to couples counseling. So they come to you, they present with this money issue, but you're telling me it's the presenting problem, but are there other issues that come that come from that? Is that
wait, let me back up and just say it's the presenting. I probably misled you a little bit in that language. It's the presenting problem once or twice a year. Most of the time that money comes up in my world as a couples therapist, it's as an aside. It's a side problem.
Okay.
It's, and by the way, we were arguing about spending last night. Mm-hmm. We had an argument this weekend. Oh, what was it about? Money.
Now, is it typically because there's two ways of managing it, kind of two philosophies on money? Is it money specifically, or is it the stuff that they wanted to do with the money? And let me color that a little bit more for you. I'll meet with couples often, like for financial planning, and one of the spouses, typically the man. That's just how it works. They'll say, "Oh, my wife, she's not really interested in talking about money," and I'll typically push back and say, "That's fine. I don't mind working or talking just with you, but I do want both of you, at least initially." Because she might not like talking about money, but I'm sure she likes talking about the vacations that money provides for. I'm sure she likes talking about the college education that it could provide for her kids. I'm sure she likes talking about the lifestyle. And there's always like this like aha moment, like, never thought about that. Never thought about it that way. And when we do have a conversation, the three of us, there's usually this new kind of engagement that I find from the individual who didn't like talking about money because they realize that money does touch other aspects of their life, of their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It almost seems like money is like this like persistent stream that kind of runs in the background that impacts everything or most
For
things that
sure.
we do. And I'm not trying to
Yeah.
overinflate the importance of money. On the contrary, like I think that we need to de-emphasize, the position that money takes in a lot of our lives. But the reality is, if you want to go to school, if you want to eat, if you want to buy a house, if you want to buy a car, you got to have a healthy.
Almost everything involves money.
Yes.
Yes. Even if you have a lot of it, almost all those decisions involve money. Right. Right. So money touches everything. That's something that you and I have talked about lots of times in several episodes. Money. So yeah, money comes up frequently in couples therapy. And the reality, Eric, is that money problems are typically examples, or they're money problems are usually it's not really a money problem. It usually is a relationship problem. Money is the point of tension.
Okay.
But the problem is how we talk about it, how you listen to me talk about it, how you engage me when you want to talk about it. It's usually emblematic of a relationship problem. And I think that's really what we need to talk about here, is that for couples, the money is sort of a disguise for the relationship issue.
Tell me more about that. How does it disguise a relationship issue?
Well, it's the feeling of I have priorities that you don't care about. It's the feeling of you don't really want to listen to me. You want to tell me. It's the feeling of I'm always criticized for the way I handle things. It's the feeling of I don't feel real secure in this relationship. Financially, that's part of it. And so I'm trying to protect myself by sequestering money for myself to protect myself.
Yeah. As you were saying that, I was thinking about something that I've seen is where one spouse makes significantly less or earns significantly less money. So therefore there's a sense of vulnerability or insecurity in the relationship.
Yeah. And that one where there's a real earning discrepancy can create a number of relationship issues. It can show up in a number of different relationship ways. One is like, I feel at a real disadvantage here, and I don't quite trust that you're going to take care of me. So I need to hold back some money to protect myself. I need to squirrel away a little money. Yeah. I used squirrel the other day too. I need to squirrel away a little money for myself. That's one way. Another way is I don't feel like I have a lot of power in the relationship, so I'm going to try to exercise power in a different way. I'm going to be controlling in a different way.
Oh, yeah.
Another way would be like, I feel guilty about the fact that you earn so much more and you're kind of taking care of our life. And so I'm going to like cave a lot of times. I'm going to be a people pleaser in the relationship because I feel so guilty. And then another way would be like, I'm going to strive to make it up in some other way. I'm going to be a striver. So you can see how the money issue, the numbers on the page, end up disguising various relationship issues.
So, man, there is so much here, and I guess this is why I'm thankful that we've been friends for so long, because I feel a little bit more equipped when I'm talking to people, when people have, when my clients are sharing their goals and their dreams and what they want to accomplish together. I feel like I have a slightly different insight because of hanging out with you and then some of our other friends who are counselors. So I'm not a therapist. I'm not a couples counselor.
And I'm not a financial planner.
And you're not. You're good with money. All right. And I guess I'm decent with, relationships.
You've rubbed off on me a ton, for sure.
Goes both ways. So how as a financial advisor, I'm just curious, like, what do I need to be looking for? Right? Because it seems like, man, every couple could probably benefit from learning to communicate better about money.
Yeah.
right? If what you're saying is true, all couples, and I'm thinking about my relationship. My wife and I are going to make 25 years this year. We've been married for 25 years. Thank you. Money has been we, it's been a point of pain at different parts of our marriage. And I'm good with money, Matt. I'm a financial planner, and my best friend's a family therapist, couples counselor, Matt.
Yeah.
Uh,
We should have it down. Right.
I should have it down. So I guess what I'm asking, I'm not sure what I'm asking. Two things. Kind of normalize this a little bit more, and then also give our listeners who want to have stronger relationships with their spouses, what they should be thinking about, how to have healthy conversations around a pretty difficult topic. We were joking around before we hit record that we were going to put sex in the title of this podcast. And, sex and money are kind of like two taboos, but I think more people are willing to talk about sex than they are willing to talk about money for whatever reason. So how do we have good conversations about money?
Well, first I want to address one of the earlier questions you asked in that bit there about, as a financial planner, I think when a couple comes to you, you need to be thinking about, is this a problem that relates to the technicalities of money management? Do they need coaching on the technicalities of money management? Or is this a communication issue?
Okay.
Is the problem that they don't have enough money? Is the problem that they don't have some process or skill in place to manage the money? Or is the problem more emotional, more relational? So for you, I think that would be a good place to start anyway, is to know where to attack the problem, where to try to intervene anyway.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about this 100 times. If the couple comes to you and they're overspending, and you set them up on a budget, which is, would be a great thing to do, help them to plan out their spending. But that's really not the problem. The problem is they both feel controlled by the other person, and so they're trying to exercise freedom by spending. Then a budget's not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's a different level of conversation, right? So first, I think you need to try to figure out in your mind, and for most of my clients, they need to figure out in their mind, is this a technical issue about money management, or is this an emotional, relational issue about our marriage or relationship? That'd be first. Secondly, if it's the emotional relationship issue, then we're going to have to learn to talk about money in new and different ways. The way we've been talking about money is not working, and we're going to have to learn to talk about it in new and different ways. And as you were talking about the challenge of talking about money, that money's hard to talk about for a lot of people, there's good reasons for that. Money can be scary, anxiety provoking. It can bring up family history stuff.
Yeah.
For some people, it can bring up, almost trauma stuff. And, money, because it touches everything, because it is the currency by which we get our needs met, our physical needs met, not having enough really is a scary feeling. And so couples need to wander into that conversation with a lot more care and curiosity and compassion than they often do. Care, curiosity, compassion versus criticism and critique.
That's good.
They need a lot more of this.
Yeah.
And so just positioning yourself for the conversation differently. Honey, let's talk about this. And I know that this is an uncomfortable situation, so we can talk quietly, we can take breaks, we can take our time. We're going to talk about it differently than we have in the past. I want to know where you're coming from. That's going to get you so much further.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think I want to end on that point. Kind of a takeaway. You recognize that money does evoke very strong emotions, real locally, right, with your spouse. Right. Even though
it often masquerades as like as a technical problem when it's a relational problem. Talking about it's challenging, so we have to learn to talk about it in new, more open, compassionate ways.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've learned that from you. And I feel that as a result, when I meet with couples and we have conversations about money, it just feels different than the regular old, this is what you should invest your money in. Right.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
Yeah. Vanguard or Fidelity. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Let's have better conversations about money. Matt, this is great. Y'all, I hope y'all are benefiting
Thanks.
from this series, The Psychology of Money. This has been, my relationship with you, Matt, has been wildly influential on my career as a financial planner. And I can only imagine the impact that this has on our listeners. When I tell people about our collaboration, particularly in the couples space that we have worked, they're always so fascinated and they're so intrigued.
People go, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, when I tell people I'm a financial advisor, like, oh, okay, did you watch the game last night? When I say, hey, I collaborate with a family therapist, they're like, really? That's such a good idea. So I think this is a topic that's really important. I would encourage couples have healthy conversations about money. We have a lot of episodes out there that we're
Love and money
topic. That's right. So y'all, thanks for listening. Share this with someone who you think would benefit from it. We'll see you in episode 6 on the psychology of money, stuff about money they didn't teach you in school podcast. Thanks for listening, y'all.